Hello, my friends. This is the Everyday Prepper channel. Thanks for joining me today. On the homesteading series, today's topic is signaling. Now, why would we need the means to signal on a homestead? Well, for one, there may be a large amount of distance between ourselves and another person. And we'll need to be signaling to each other because we don't have possibly the means that we normally do. Maybe the cell phone network is down. Maybe we don't have any more batteries for the two-way radios. So we're going to use light and sound mainly to transfer information. We can set up various codes that you flicker the light so many times to mean this, or you blast on the whistle, for example, so many times to mean that. And so you can figure out codes to transmit information over distance. In terms of light, the obvious, flashlight, spotlight, headlamp, lantern would be good options. Maybe even glow sticks if they were available. But in terms of sound, once again, a whistle is always good. It's very portable, compact, lightweight, very inexpensive. You also have bells. Bells have been used for a long time to signal to the neighbors that they need help. Sometimes they've been also used to signal other people in the network of various other types of things going on, maybe the time of day, or maybe it's time to eat. And then horns. There's all kinds of various horns, like bugle-like horns, trumpet-like horns. It could even be a megaphone type horn. But once again, if you're using batteries or a power source, have the means to replenish that. So we have light and sound. Now, if I was to live in an urban area, I wouldn't probably worry about this one right here. But if I was to live in a more rural area, I think I'd have a nice box of flares just to signal if I ever needed to have rescue, or if there was a need. Maybe, for example, maybe someone got very injured and it was in the middle of some inclement weather, and they needed to be medevaced out by helicopter, which is fairly common in my area, believe it or not. Because I live far enough away from a major hospital, most of the time, if there is a heavy trauma, you get medevaced out on a helicopter. And in that kind of situation, it would be really nice to set up a perimeter, a landing zone, an LZ, with your flares, just to kind of give the pilot a good orientation of where they need to be. So that's an option. Now, even though this is not a bug out series, let's just kind of make a few suggestions if you're bugging out from your homestead. So once again, I would have my whistle. That's easily taken. It's very lightweight. Once again, you can travel with that. And besides the whistle, I'd have a signal mirror. Of course, you can use whatever your light source is. Maybe it's a headlamp. That's what I probably picked as my first one if I was to bug out. And I'd have to say, if the grid is still up, and things are still functional, maybe, just maybe, I'd have something that would be helpful for locating me, like through the GPS, through the satellite systems. So it could be like a GPS transponder. And so those are some options. Just remember, though, that there's other more primitive means even than that. You have maybe it's just a signal panel, or you can use brightly colored flags that you can wave in various different types of manners. And these are different types of uses and techniques are still in play with even militaries around the world. So sometimes simple is still good. In fact, sometimes simple is actually the way to go. And so you don't have to overthink this, but this really depends on the group size, the maturity of the group, the skill levels of the group, in terms of what you're going to actually choose. If you have a really large group, do you really want to have a lot of people with whistles blasting all around the homestead? Probably not. Or if it's a smaller homestead and you want to keep a low-key type of approach to whatever you're doing, you probably don't want to be signaling to the whole community that you're doing different things by blowing a whistle. So you may have to find other means. But these are some options to think about. As always, thanks for coming along. Catch you later.